An hour?
Yeah, like 8:30, 8:45-ish. That's cool.
We should be good. Mr. Stoop, you ready to go?
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's go. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Stoop Life podcast. If God's first time joining us, welcome. Tonight, we want to welcome on a guy that we've been trying to get onto this podcast for. How long have we been doing the podcast for, PJ? About a year, give or take, on and off. We've been trying to get him on, but he's been showing up like Harden in the fourth. He just didn't want to come on. But yeah, I want to say welcome to our guest tonight, Tyler Wagner. What's going on, man? How are you doing tonight?
Good, man. Hey, it's a pleasure. I've been trying to get on here for so long. It's just tough with our schedules and, softball and work and everything. It's happy to be on.
Yeah, man, we know how it is. But we're glad to have on. And tonight we get to talk about the NBA Finals. So me and you always talk shit about how we can't pick our money lines on our bets. But whenever we do a breakdown of something, me and Paul, we tend to win. So I'm just going to let you know that's good luck that you're coming on to the podcast tonight, because every time we do a breakdown of something, it relates to FanDuel winnings. So I'm just saying, like, if you guys are listening. But before we get started, we got something more important than Tyler coming on that podcast. No offense at all, brother.
No.
But we want to welcome and give a quick shout out to all the sponsors that we have come up with in the last month that we're going to be starting with going forward. And we want to start off with our guy, my man, Louis Frangiosa. I want to give a shout out to Lulu Banga Sports Cards. If you guys are looking to buy sports cards, or if you guys are looking to sell sports cards, Louis is your guy to go to. He got NBA, NFL, NHL. Hell, he even has WWE cards. And I know you guys in life love WWE. You guys could get some WWE sports cards. That's right, guys. Any sports you want, he has them all. So check him out on Instagram at Lulu Banga Sports Cards, or check out his sales account on eBay at Lulu Banga Sports Cards. Buy, sell, or trade any sports card. He's your guy. If he doesn't have it, he'll get it. Check him out. Or reach out to him directly at 484-318-5394. Again, that's Lulu Banga Sports Cards. For all your sports cards needs, reach out to him. We also want to give a quick shout out to my man Dan Testa at Patriotic Powerhouse. One thing we like to do here at Stoop Life, Team BKO, we like to support companies that support and help others win. And that's exactly what Patriotic Powerhouse is. It's a company that's founded upon helping others win. If you're looking to run a charity foundation for a small business, Dan Testa at Patriotic Powerhouse is the one you need to contact for that. He will set you up with the best charity you ever had. I guarantee it. He runs raffles, giveaways, parties, anything you need, he'll run it and make it the best one you ever had. So next time you guys are looking to run a charity for your business, give our buddy Dan Testa a call at Patriotic Powerhouse. You can find him on Instagram at Patriotic_Powerhouse, or just reach out to Dan directly at 856-535-1525. Patriotic Powerhouse, Dan Testa, for your charity foundations. Paul, we got some other podcasts. We got some other sponsors here, don't we, man? Let's keep on.
Of course, man. You guys like some clean shit. You guys like your house clean, right?
I do.
I'm sure you guys love to work in a clean environment, right? So why not get my man down there at the Keystone Professional Cleaners? My man Keith is going to hook you up with the cleanest, spotless shit ever. I'm telling you. If you want clean, call my man Keith Andrews. You can reach him out at 1-800-403-9452. He's the best. Professional is in his name for a reason. He's going to kick ass. Make sure you give my man Keith a call. And tell him that I sent you. The Stoop sent you. We sent you. We don't send people to, weaklings. We send people to real people. My people love the people.
True, man.
That's
clean.
Got to. There's nothing like a clean office space, bro. I'm like looking at my house and I'm being like, yo, this is clean. I gotta call my man Keith though. I am right after this. All right, boys, ready to roll?
We got some more to do. Let's go get it done real quick here. We ain't done yet, guys. We got another guy. We got Belletta Realtor, Anthony Belletta. If you guys are looking to buy a new home or you're looking to sell your home, hell, you might be like me and trying to rent out a house. Either way, whatever you're trying to do, our guy Anthony Belletta is the best in the business, servicing the Pennsylvania and New Jersey area. The Anthony Belletta team is the squad we all use for our home buying and selling needs. And his team offer once-in-a-lifetime experience when searching for a home, selling a home, getting a new one. He's your guy. Friendly, committed, diligent, dependable, passionate, professional, and proficient. That's everything you get when you use Team Belletta Real Estate. Associated with Keller Williams, Ant and his team offer some of the best services in PA and New Jersey. So if you guys are looking for a new home, looking to sell your home, looking to rent, check them out on Instagram at the Belletta team or on their Facebook page. You can give Ant a call directly at 484-202-0857. Check them out right there. We're good to go on that. Now let's get into this podcast real quick, and then we got to hit you guys up with a couple more sponsors we have here, but we got to get into it real quick. So we got the NBA Finals. We got Golden State versus Boston. Now I'm looking at these odds, and it's like, wow, I can't remember what the odds were for last year with the Suns versus Milwaukee, but these odds for this look like it's going to be a hell of a finals. So I'll give you guys the odds real quick, and then we'll get into it, and we'll let our guests do some talking here. We got Golden State minus 160 and Boston plus 130. When you guys look at that line, what's the first thing that pops to your eyes about the series? I'll let you go first, Ty, since you're the guest on here.
Gotta let the guest speak.
I mean, clearly Golden State's a favorite. You know, they've been there 6 times in the last 8 years. So, you know, they're loaded with that experience based around Curry, Klay, Draymond. But, I mean, people forget Tatum. He's been to 3 conference finals. Horford's been to, I believe, 2, one with Atlanta and one with Boston. Maybe 3, actually, believe it or not. 2 with Boston. Smart's been there. I want to say he's been there 4 times to the Eastern Conference Finals. So they have plenty of playoff experience as well. So I think a lot of people are sleeping on the Celtics. Vegas knows they have a good shot. That's why the odds aren't too crazy. But it's going to be a great matchup.
Yeah, I agree with you. Paulie, what do you think there? I mean, good numbers there with Tatum being in the conference finals. As a Sixers fan wearing my hat, it makes me sick.
I know, man.
Never been there, right? Since AI.
To think that could have been us. That could have been us with Jason Tatum, but we chose Markelle Fultz. So
could have been us if we tried to help Embiid instead of Simmons. So that's why, I'm looking at these odds. I don't want Boston. I want Boston to get swept. You know, but I don't know. Paulie, what do you think about it, man?
Obviously, they're favoring the dynasty in the making, which is the Golden State Warriors. It's hard not to. These guys have been there. It's the same crew, just with a little extra help. I mean, it's kind of hard not to say, okay, all right, the experience will play a role. I mean, but that's not to say that Boston, like Tyler was saying, he's been there. He's been to a conference final a couple times. So, I mean, this is just his next step up. I think this might be a way of Jason Tatum kind of showing his ass more. I think he's going to be out there. You know how LeBron was when they first played him, where he was just scoring all the points, getting all the rebounds. Right. I think JT's going to snap, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I don't think it's going to be enough, though. You know what I mean? Just like Al Horford. I believe Al Horford's actually been there as well. No, he lost to the Cavaliers when he was with Cleveland. I mean, when he was with Atlanta.
Finals, I mean, that's pretty a good resume.
I mean,
it's a hell of a resume.
Al Horford, he never did them 2 blocks in Philly either. It's like, damn.
Yeah, right. Man, what happened to him?
He chose up.
He's like Nick Foles in Philly. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? He just turns up when he gets back to Boston. He was a hell of a player. Right. But he goes to Boston and just steps up more. I don't know what it is.
I agree with you, man. I agree with you. Speaking of Al Horford, I was trying to come up with like an X factor on these players and these teams, and I had Al Horford as an X factor in this series because I don't know about you guys. What's it called? Porter got hurt, and when Golden State likes to run their team, he's kind of that versatile guy that helps them stay not small when they do that small lineup, but he's out now. So with him being out, I feel like Al Horford could play a very pivotal role in this series because I don't know how, Looney can't guard him, and then if Looney's out, you're gonna have who's gonna be guarding him on that end. And we already saw he put up 30 against Giannis.
Probably Draymond. Probably go small, right?
Yeah, but that's what I think. He could have a 30-point game that could change the series, like one game.
He could, yeah.
Good. I mean, I'm not gonna bank on that, but I mean, he put 30 on Giannis that one game. I mean.
That was unbelievable.
Yeah, so you never know.
High, right?
He had a deep game. He had like a full head of steam. Like, yo, I'm gonna fuck this guy up.
He dunked the ball for the first time in like 5 years.
Listen, how many times have you guys gone down to the park and played ball, and somebody made a move on you? You're like, and you just talking. You're like, okay, that's when it clicks. Like that's the look. When he went, okay, I said, okay, he's about to drop 30 on his head. And he aimed on him.
It's crazy. So, I got to ask you this, Ty. I'm going to ask you, since you're the guest, I want your answer first. For Golden State, what is the number one X factor for Golden State, in your opinion?
Well, I mean, the obvious answer would be, Steph Curry. He actually has a history of not showing up in the NBA Finals. He has one of the biggest meltdowns, I believe, in NBA history. I think it was the year they were up 3-1. I don't have the stats in front of me now, but his shooting was, I want to say, around 30%. It was really bad. So he would be my number one, but the real X factor would be Andrew Wiggins, and he is my after Steph Curry to win MVP. Wiggins would definitely be second on my list. I mean, with his defense, he's obviously going to be guarding Tatum and Brown all game long. That's a big decision for Steve Kerr, who they're going to, with the defensive matchups, that's going to be real tough. So you said just Golden State, right? I mean,
yeah, either or.
Either or. I mean, for Boston, it's.
I was going with Boston.
For Boston, it's definitely the health of Marcus Smart and Williams. They're both key factors in helping Jason Tatum, get to the next level. So we'll see what happens. What do you think, Paul, with the Warriors? Who's their X factor?
You know it, and I agree with you on everything you just said about that. And Wiggins was going to be mine too. I think that if there's a guy that's got to step up and do his thing, it's got to be Wiggins. He's been hot, so ride the hot hand. And when it comes to defending JT, I probably am going to throw on. I'll probably throw Andrew Wiggins on him and throw a little zone out there. I think Steph has to show up. I agree. A lot of people forget he has history in not showing up when it matters.
Right.
Nobody else has carried him. KD, Andre Iguodala won MVP. He does have to. This has got to be his year to be the fucking man. If you know what I mean, he has to go in there. He has to keep it out.
Really be a staple in his legacy. Yeah. Very big for Steph Curry.
This is great.
This is it right here. I mean,
this got to be it.
I mean, this really dampens, him being the best point guard of all time or top 3 of all time. I mean, I think it's a really big year for him.
How many moments in the finals has Steph had? I couldn't think. Every time I think of the finals when they won, it's hard to think of any moment.
I think of Iguodala slowing down LeBron a little bit. I don't know. They always played more as a team. It was never KD. It was KD. He just dominated, and Steph just sat back and was in amazement of KD. His dominance during his prime. But
how
Steph
important
yet to win a Finals MVP. So
yeah, that's what's gonna bring me up.
This got to be
currently MVP. So how important do you guys think it would be his fourth title, and if he gets the MVP, it'd be his first one in the finals? How important do you think that is to his legacy? Like, how far does it catapult him up that list, of the GOATs? Like, does he join that top 10 or that top?
This is the only thing he doesn't have, right? He has an MVP. He has a championship. Does he have an All-Star MVP? I'm not sure. He probably does. Didn't he win last year's All-Star MVP?
I think he did. I don't keep track. I think he did. They're kind of doesn't matter anymore. Russell Westbrook got 4 of them.
He's the greatest three-point shooter that game has ever seen. He's unbelievable. So, this is it right here. And I think he'll definitely be back, too. I don't think this is like CP3. He's not going to make it back. Yeah. They have a max spot going in this offseason. So they're going to improve, get better. They're going to keep Andrew Wiggins. They're only going to be better next season, which is pretty scary to think.
Yeah.
So,
and I think people miss they have a young core. Even if Steph's done, which is still, but they still have a young core. You know what I mean? With Jordan Poole, GP too. Now you have Andrew.
Oh my God, and he's back too, Gary Payton. He's back.
God, he's
a turnover machine from what I've seen, but
he's tough as they come, man.
He's explosive.
Statistically, the worst shooting season Curry has had in his career, and they're in the finals right now. And he's
Steph Curry.
He's the favorite to win the finals MVP. That just shows how great he is. That's why I'm asking you guys where you would push him up to. Top 10, top 15. Where's he going?
I think if he was to ball out and he wins MVP, I think it catapults him into the top 10 conversation. You can't just dismiss that and say, there's no way he's top 10. There's going to be an argument he's a top 10 player of all time.
My only situation with him in that argument is do you put him at a point guard or shooting guard? It's kind of I think that kind of hurts him in that talk. But if this man has 4 titles, if they win the 4th title in the same decade as LeBron, they got the same title in less tries. I get the teams are better, but still, at the end of the day, 20, 30 years from now, nobody's going to remember the team. They're going to remember his title, and then if he gets the MVP. In my opinion, he's probably it's hard. We debate who's the best ever. The eras are different. 100%, he's a top 5 player of our generation. No doubt about it.
No argument at all here on that one.
Yeah, so speaking of MVPs, since we're gonna talk MVPs, I'm not even gonna give you guys the odds yet, except I said Curry's favorite. So if you guys had to put $1,000 down on MVP without knowing the odds, you guys relatively probably know, who would you put down as your favorite? Would it be Curry or would it be Tatum or somebody else?
All right, if Golden State wins, I'm probably going to roll with Andrew Wiggins.
Wow.
If Boston wins, it's Shay all the way. It's Jason Tatum all the way. That's
Now is Wiggins more of a shot, or you really believe he's going to win MVP over Curry?
I think he has a shot. The way he's playing, man, this series really woke me up about Andrew Wiggins. He was always one of those guys that can give you 20 and 10. He can give you that.
Easily. I could see him average 25 and 10 for the series.
Exactly. And
2 steals, 5 assists.
This is the guy I would probably. That's the guy.
I don't have no beef with that because he, like you said, he's been playing phenomenal. That dunk he had, it's Simon Luka was pretty statement, man. And it's good. He's finally coming into his role where he doesn't have to be that 1 or 2 guy. Because Klay has came back, has been shooting, So, hey, man, I can see it happening. My only thing with that is who's guarding him last series. He's gonna be getting guarded by either Tatum or Brown in this series. It's gonna be a little different for him. It's gonna be a little different.
If Brown guards him, he's gonna have a little difficulty. I don't think JT really gives him too much difficulty. He's a good defender. First and foremost, Tatum's a hell of a defender. Yeah. But I think Andrew Wiggins is really, really on one right now. I think you're going to have to double him a couple times. I think you can't.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of switches because Golden State, they don't stand around like the Sixers or the Miami Heat for example. They're constantly switching ball movement. You're going to see Horford at times on Steph Curry. And they're going to be like, what the fuck, you know? And Curry's just going to throw threes right in his face. Because that's a mismatch and a half for, you know.
So big time. Who you got for MVP then? Who would you be your pick?
So if I had a grand and it was like my last, you know, grand in my pocket and I had to win, I'm going to roll with Curry. I really believe he's going to just go insane. And I'd like to see it too. Like Paul said, we haven't really seen it in the finals. So I'd really like to see him take over and just go all out for like 50 points, maybe game one or something. And then I'm with Paul as well with Wiggins. If I was to just take a shot, what's his odds? Plus 300, 400?
No, so he's at. So the odds for Curry are plus 120. The odds for Andrew Wiggins are plus 4,100.
I might have to put a couple of dollars on that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I might have to put a couple of dollars on that.
Out of 1, 2, 3, 4. He's the 5th Warrior on the list.
Wow.
Like,
and he's in that Iguodala's spot, except he's a way better offensive player. So he has the advantage on Iguodala when it comes to points.
So, yeah, I mean, another guy I like on the other side of the ball is Marcus Smart. He's
if he's healthy,
I just couldn't see him being MVP. It would definitely be.
So
here's my thing. And then Brown is, but
yeah, I agree, and I also like, you know, he's number 3 on Boston. I'll give him that 100% number 3 on Boston. There's only a couple guys. But my thing is with Smart is what I like is. Do you guys remember the last time these guys played each other? You remember that game, right? Marcus Smart hurt Steph Curry. So that's the last time they played. Curry called him a cheater and a dirty player.
It's gonna get nasty.
Yeah, I mean, I could see Marcus Smart probably getting a couple technical fouls, to be honest with you, or I could see him getting underneath Curry's skin. And Curry just, like you said earlier, not showing up in the finals. I would hate to see it, but like I said, he's having his worst shooting season ever. He hasn't really dominated in the finals yet, and you got the Defensive Player of the Year on the other side of the ball guarding him.
Yeah, and I think Curry has to be great because they do have he does have a really good, you know, core of a team, but if he is a bad series, I got that probably Boston 4-2 in 6 games.
So I mean, yeah, I do agree with you guys though. Like if Boston wins, I don't see how it's not Jason Tatum.
It has to be.
Yeah, all the stuff I'm saying, Smart shutting down, Curry, this and that. I'm not betting against that. Like, best shooter out. You make this dude mad, he's probably going to start hitting turnaround threes. Like, that's how good he is. But if Boston wins, I can see Jason Tatum kind of – like, Jason Tatum didn't have a dominant Eastern Conference Finals and he won, you know, the MVP. Like, he didn't dominate. He had one game. He scored 10 points. He still won it. So, I mean, you know, I do want to throw another guy out there. Klay Thompson. I mean, Klay Thompson is 5th on the list at 1,500.
Wow.
Because he's still recovering. He's still getting his legs back.
I mean, the way he played in closeout games in these playoffs is unfucking believable.
Game 6.
Now, every game, like the way he's always performed in the playoffs in his shooting. Play. I mean, like, who's guard? Like, when we talk about they're going to be doing a lot of switches, like Boston's defense is phenomenal, but they've never played a team that's going to be able to just like miss 12 shots in a row and just keep shooting and make them. Most of the time, they stop. Like they're not going to miss 12 in a row. That shit don't happen to them, you know. So it's like they got so many weapons that's like you're going to switch. You're either going to switch off on Wiggins, you're going to go on Curry, and then you know Klay's open. If they bring Jordan Poole in. Like, that dude can score. There's a lot of buckets going around. It's like, Klay's a proven guy. Like, I like his odds at plus 1,500. So, I mean, I'm a guy I like to take the odds that are higher. Curry hasn't done it yet at plus 120. It doesn't really entice me, even though, like, I hope he wins. But I like Klay. I like Klay to win MVP if Golden State wins at plus 1,500. That's my play. But I like the Wiggins one.
I like it.
Yeah, I love it. I'm putting a couple dollars right now. Right now.
I have numbers written down. We're gonna break it down real quick of the playoff stats for each game. So I'm gonna go by teams first. So in the playoffs, Golden State Warriors score 114 points per game. Boston scores 107.1. Now we all know like Boston has a better defense, right? Boston is a plus 7.4 point differential in the playoffs. They're number one. Surprisingly, Golden State is number 2 at 5.4, which is crazy because, like I said, they score 114 points a game. So you're not really going to stop them in scoring. But I went to look up stats because, like, if you look up the Sixers series, for example, against Miami, we couldn't rebound the fucking ball for shit. So, like, Boston last game, somehow, they couldn't rebound for shit either against Miami in that game, which was crazy. They're both – who do you think has more rebounds per game in the playoffs?
Golden State.
Golden State? Yeah. Golden State is at 44.8 and Boston's at 42.
I read that somewhere, so I saw that they're a really good rebounding team.
But this is another thing that caught my eye here on a decision on who I think is going to win. The turnover differential. Golden State turns the ball over 14.7 times a game, and Boston is at 13.3. If you're a team like Golden State, which we've seen it a couple times in playoffs where they had like 5 straight possessions with a turnover, like we've seen that. Like look at Game 5 against Memphis when they turned the ball over like 5 times to let Memphis come back in the game. They did it that one game. Dallas blew them out. If you do that against Boston, you're not like Boston's gonna come. They're gonna. It's done. So that caught my eye. I don't know how much of a deal you guys really think that is since it's the finals. But for me, like that high turnover differential is a little staggering for me, especially considering how much bigger Boston is than Golden State. Like I think that's an X factor for me. It's the size of Boston and the Golden State. So I mean, I don't know about you guys. It means a deal. Here's another thing I wanted to bring up here, which is pretty crazy. We talk about how Golden State shoots a lot of threes, right? Well, Boston is roughly 13 3-pointers a game out of 37. They shoot 36%. So they shoot like 37 threes a game. Golden State, on the other side, goes about the same. They're about 13 for 36. So we're going to see a lot of fucking 3-pointers in this series. I think it's going to be great. So that also looks at, okay, the turnover differential doesn't really mean that much when these teams shoot that many threes in the game where it's like you can come back like that. It's crazy.
Yeah, Bobby, I'm with you. Like Dallas, for example, they're not nearly as big as Boston. Like Boston's more of a bully, in your face strategy. Yeah, they strap you up real good. The Mavs had a good defense, but they weren't necessarily beating teams with height.
Yeah. Nah, they don't have enough firepower. Like Boston has that.
Yeah.
Golden State, they like to play small, and it might be to their advantage to where Boston might have to play small with them. Yeah, they might have to go, who would play power forward. Like they might put Williams at center or Tatum at center, something crazy.
Yeah, I mean, because I was thinking of that because the depth lineup for Golden State, like I said, with Porter being out, they would always throw him kind of in the middle. So
Curry, Klay, Poole, Wiggins, Draymond, right?
Like, how do you guard that? Like, you can't have all that. Like, you're gonna have to have. I guess Grant Williams will be your center at that point. Like you're taking Al Horford out of the game. Like that could be.
Is he really stopping Wiggins or Draymond going to the rim?
Nah.
I don't know.
I agree.
If I'm Boston, I feed Horford and Williams all night long.
Yeah, I agree.
Pound it down low, get them into foul trouble, get Looney out of the game, get Draymond in foul trouble.
Yeah, I think you just brought it up right there. If you get Draymond Green in foul trouble,
get him riled up. He'll get some tees. He'll get suspended.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that could be a huge
three checks. You're suspended.
I mean, you got Marcus Smart out there that loves to talk shit. So I could, that would be like my ignition. Like, make this motherfucker angry. Like, because like we've seen it. Like how much of a different team Golden State is with and without Draymond. It's night and day. So
if Dre didn't get kicked out of that game against in the finals against the Cavs, I don't think we're talking about the Cavs final. I mean Cavs rank title. Honestly, I mean he's a major factor of being gone.
Vegas made that.
He's
call,
he's a piece.
Get him out.
Yeah, I mean it's true. I agree with you there.
I
mean, listen, he doesn't score a lot, but he hits that open shot too. Like last was a game, the closeout game against Dallas. When I don't know if you guys were watching TNT, and they're like, "Yo, why are you shooting threes? Like you don't shoot threes." And he goes, "I might need to make one." That game, he had an open three, he made it, and it was a big shot. So he doesn't take them, but he's prepared to take them. So it's like, hey, he might not get to 20 points in the game, but he'll be if you leave him open, he's making that shot.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it's like you just said, if you get him in foul trouble, it's a completely different series. Because then we're talking about how does Golden State stop the big guys for Boston at that point if he's out of the game. It's going to be, in my opinion, I think every single game is going to be close because you got a lot of guys on here that do a lot of different things. That hell, Grant Williams, what did he hit that one game? 10 threes or some shit. What did he do? It was unbelievable. I mean,
he shot about 20 of them, but
yeah. Another guy we're not even talking about is White for Boston.
White, he's a baller.
Yeah, when he's hitting, he's hard as you can't stop because he's so agile in it. That means you're going to Jordan Poole game.
Former Spur, he got that.
Yeah, I agree with you there. So, before we get into the odds for the games, I want to ask you guys both this. Because Ty, you actually brought this question up to me earlier. Who is this series more important for? Is it more important for the legacy of Steph Curry, Klay, and Draymond? Or is it more important for, the real process of Boston?
Right. Yeah, we kind of touched on it earlier. I think it dials down to Steph Curry. Chef Curry, this is more important for him than the Warriors as a team or Jason Tatum for Boston. Boston's won 17 titles. So, I mean, do they really need to win this championship? No. Does Tatum necessarily need to win? He's young, and Paul mentioned earlier, he's more like I'm not comparing him to LeBron, but he's like LeBron when he came into the league, and, he lost his first title. And it wasn't the end of the world. He made it back a million times. So Tatum's definitely going to be back with USC. He's that talented. And he does have that Kobe Bryant DNA, if you ask. He always compares himself a little bit to Kobe, and I kind of see it myself. He's definitely going to be back. He has a work ethic in him and everything. But yeah, it's Steph Curry. I mean, plain and simple. It's important for his legacy, important for where he ranks all time as a point guard or any position, top 10, whatever. So
I agree with you, man. I think it's huge because, like you said, Tatum's young. You never know. I mean, they might be back. They might not be. Hopefully not. But well, Paul, what do you think about that? I completely agree with what Ty said there.
I agree. This is Steph series, man. This is his legacy. This is his moment. He doesn't have that in the finals yet. And this is his. I think this year is his way of saying he's not getting younger. He's getting long in the tooth. He's not getting younger. He's done everything he needed to do. Winning the finals MVP, having that moment, that seals the deal. He's a top 10 all-time player. And this is his time. It's way more heat. I mean, you can say the same thing about the whole legacy of Golden State, the dynasty. I mean, they are the dynasty of our era. I believe on ESPN today, we were talking about dynasties, and they were talking about this dynasty. This is a dynasty besides the Spurs, and this is the way to see it.
If you don't got they were trying to bash and saying, "Oh, they're not a dynasty because they didn't win it all in the same 6 years." Shut up, dude.
No,
it's pretty impressive the fact that Klay Thompson has been out for 2 years. They had a top 5 pick, and now bam, they're back in the finals. They're back.
Yeah,
that just shows that chemistry of that team of Klay coming back, for real. Because people forget Curry got hurt, Like,
Yeah,
you know,
Klay got hurt.
He tends to get hurt a lot too late in the playoffs, and this is the first year I can remember he's like fully healthy, and he's probably toward the end of his prime, if you will.
Yeah.
I think his game he's going to play till closer to 40, just because the way he plays, he could just he's not going to forget how to shoot.
Yeah,
He's not going to forget how to bring the ball up the court. I think his game, he'll be able to, make more championships, not as the main guy. But this might be his last year where he's that guy to win the MVP of the finals.
I agree with you.
So
since we're talking about a little bit of the players, who do you guys think? We're going to do a little draft here real quick. We're going to do the top 5 most important players. Not the top 5 best, but the top 5 most important, because I was just kind of writing them down here on my own here.
in the entire series.
Yeah, so like the top 5 best and top 5 most important are completely different. So I'm curious, who do you guys have at number 5? Most important player.
Number 5?
You're leaving a couple people out that are very important.
Very important players we're going to leave out.
Yeah. So who you got?
I want to go first on this one, Tyler. I'm gonna let Tyler go first on this one. I'm gonna follow with 2 and 3 though.
I might have to start at 1 and go the other way. Curry and Tatum have to be 1 and 2. I would say. You know what? I would even go and say Tatum has to be number 1 because I think Boston needs Tatum more than the Warriors need Steph Curry.
I agree.
I'm kind of going against what I said earlier, but they need his star power more than Golden State because he has more guys who could pick him up than Tatum necessarily does. So, but if we go down to 5, let me write my list here.
So my number 2. I don't have Steph Curry.
Okay.
I don't have Steph Curry number 2.
Yeah, Wiggins.
I think, like you just said, you just made it perfect. You just said there's a lot of star power where you can get picked up. No, I've been talking about it all night. I think Draymond Green is the most important player for the Warriors.
Okay.
I think the season when he came back, when he was hurt and he sucked, they weren't that good. Everyone was like, oh, they might not make it out of the first round. And then he got back to and started playing his role. So I think in order for Golden State to win, I think Draymond needs to be Draymond. I think he needs to hold his head, not get technical. Because if he gets out of the game, like I said earlier, like that changes their lineup is changed. Like Porter being out, if they lose Draymond, like their lineups, it's going to be tough for them to make any matchups. They're going to have to move Wiggins to power forward or bring in somebody that they don't want to play. Like it's going to be tough for them, because like they can run that small lineup and put Draymond at center because the way he plays bully, he can play center. Al Horford's not a physical player. Robert Williams can't score. He can play center. But if he's out, you're going to have to bring in, Poole's going to be playing that whole game. And that dude, like, he ain't, him and what, like, I don't know. That's it. So I personally think it's Draymond number 2 for me. I don't have an argument. He's in the top 5 regardless, but for me, he's number 2 important player.
I like it, man.
I agree. I mean, Draymond is a very important player. But we've seen what happens when he leaves series. They lose.
Right.
They look like shit when they don't have him. Like that's not crazy at all. That you said that. That's actually makes a lot more sense.
He's like in a way. You would think Curry. A lot of people might disagree, but he's like their quarterback.
Yeah,
he's like their floor general. Like he will bring the ball up at times, and he's that hybrid forward, man. And he's got to show up. Don't get me wrong. And he's definitely the anchor on defense, no doubt about it. He's a defensive player of the year. He makes the calls on defense, and he has a say with the offense too, with Curry and Klay Thompson for sure.
Yeah. So
I agree.
Let's just not make any order.
I don't think you can go wrong with any
It's hard to
order.
Yeah, I think
you have to throw Wiggins in there for sure.
Yeah,
because this is just my opinion. I think they're gonna say, "Yo, Andrew, like do your thing.
Yeah.
Like we're giving you the Steve Kerr's just how Doc told Maxey, yo, go out there. We need you. They're telling Wiggins that like we need you to use all your ability to help us win this thing.
Yeah,
and that's why I think he's up there for MVP talk.
Yeah, a lot of people aren't
Because
even
that.
Vegas in these MVP odds. They're not crediting the way he plays defense a lot. You know, he can score. He can still play defense. He's going to be guarding Tatum or Brown. You know, virtually like that's where he's going to be main time because of his size.
Right.
I wouldn't be shocked if Jaylen Brown had terrible finals and it was because of Wiggins. I think that could be a huge factor. Like it could be. You
That's
know,
possible.
like we've seen, you know, Jaylen Brown's played pretty damn good throughout the playoffs, but
Played amazing.
and into the finals against, you know, and the thing, like we keep bringing Wiggins up. He's one of the only guys on this team that hasn't been there. You know, one of the main guys.
Right.
And
but it's like they're handing him the keys. Like go.
Yeah, you know how it is. Like when
this
you're something and like everyone you've been with has already done this, you're comfortable as shit just to be who you are because they're already there. Like you're just like, yo, it's nothing new. Like let's do. And I mean, last series, Andrew Wiggins kind of like had shown up like that, where it's like he looks like he was the guy that's in there. You know, so I agree. He's definitely right there too.
And then real quick, you forget Klay. He's an incredible defender too. So that's the big question. Who is sticking Brown and who's sticking Tatum? My guess is Wiggins on Tatum, Klay on Brown. But like I said, they're going to switch all game long. So it's going to be interesting to watch.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I agree. So we got to get into the game odds here because the game odds, I find, we talked about it a little bit off camera, I find it very fascinating. And I always find these fascinating because usually we do it with like UFC fights and we look at like the changes in the rounds, like knockouts and shit. And it happens during this series. So the spread for the actual finals is Golden State is favored by 1.5 games. So just keep that in mind. Golden State is minus 1.5 games. The odds for the games are as follows. For the series to go 4 games, it's plus 650. For it to go 5 games, it's plus 250. For it to go 6 games, it's plus 190. And then for it to go 7 games, it's only a 5-point drop-off at plus 185. Now, I'm looking at the odds here. They're Golden State favored by 1.5 games.
Mm-hmm.
So are they like it goes game? Theoretically, you think, all right, well, it has to go at least 5 games then, right? But like if they're favored by 1.5 games, why are the odds from game 5 to game 7 only less than 50 points on a drop off on the odds? Like it doesn't make any sense to me. So like you could bet game 7 and bet the under on 1.5 games, you win both. Like it doesn't create, but it doesn't. Close my mind, but this is the odds I want to talk to you guys about before we make our picks. We got Golden State 4-0 at plus 1,100. Boston 4-0 is plus 1,500. Golden State to win 4-1 plus 450. Boston 4-1 is plus 900. Now here's where it gets crazy, and this is what I want to kind of talk about. Vegas is fucking with us. Golden State to win the series 4-2 is plus 500. Boston to win the series 4-2 is plus 450. Flat. So how's it go from plus 900 to plus 450 and now they're under? So are they trying to tell us something there? We'll see. Golden State 4-3 plus 350. Boston 4-3 is plus 600. So based off those odds and your previous predictions of what you think, who wants to go first on their predictions? Should I go first?
Paul. You go first this time.
I go first. I don't give a shit what Wiggins got to say. It's gonna be 4-1. It's gonna be 4-1. Golden State.
Wow.
Okay.
I think they steal game 1. I think Boston steals game 1 right now. Then a gentleman sweep, and that's not disrespect about Boston. I just think that's the vibe I'm catching.
Okay. I mean, listen, I don't blame you because honestly, that was one of the marks I had off based off the odds and how they jump off. Because, like I said, 4-1 is plus 450, and then for them 4-2 is plus 500, and Boston 450. It's like it's telling me something there. But then again, I can't pick money lines on basketball anyway, so I'm not arguing it. But you're saying Boston's going to win game 1 and then get swept. I think that's a little crazy, bro.
Well, it's not as crazy as you think. I think this is the time for them to win the game. You know, to win a game, to steal one. It's this game.
I wouldn't be shocked if that's how it goes down, but I think you're underestimating Boston a little bit.
Yeah.
Their defense.
I respect them. They're
Tatum's the real deal, man.
Yeah, I mean,
I know JT is a walk-in bucket, but you know what? I just Golden State's too much.
I'm going to look up because you can actually bet on how each game goes in the series, like through game 5, through game 6. I'm going to look up and I'm going to show you what the odds are for that, what you just said to happen. It's probably crazy. Like, I mean, I'm not saying, you never know. I mean, it could happen. So I'm assuming the odds are probably pretty damn high for that to happen, though. So maybe we'll put 50 cents on it. So,
I might need to.
You want the guest to go last? You want me to go?
Now, I want to be honest. I'm stumped on. I have no clue how this is going to play out, but I'm kind of with Paul, except I could see it going 6 to where Golden State gets like a 3-1 lead. They win 1 and 2, and then they'll win like game 4. And then, if that happens, they'll probably just close them out game 5. I don't know. I think it's going to go 6 or 7, and definitely Golden State for sure. It's just I don't know.
I can't argue there. I mean,
I can't figure out how many games it's going to go. I mean, I'm going to say go 7 games. Warriors in 7.
Okay.
Steph Curry MVP.
So listen, I've been wrong. You know, I'm not great at picking these. I picked the first 2 series. I picked pretty much all of them until Game 7 of Phoenix and Game 7 of the Boston game. They killed my parlay. Killed me. The first 2 I lost. I stopped betting. I would have won a lot. That would have been a good bet. But I'm going against both of you. I hate to say it. I'm going against both of you. Not just to go against you. Not just to go against you, because honestly,
I'm not shocked.
I think the size of Boston is going to play a huge factor in this game, in this series. I think we're going to see Jason Tatum go the fuck off. Like, I think Jason Tatum is going to have this Kobe Bryant moment, and he's all Sixers fans are going to love it and hate it at the same time.
That's what it will take for them to.
I'm taking Boston in 6, 4-2.
Wow.
Those odds made me think I should tell me something there. I already thought Boston maybe. We'll see. I got Boston 4-2. I think Boston's going to win it in 6, and I don't think it's going to be any blowout games. No blowout games. Every game is going to be a nail biter. I don't know. Even if Paul's right to go 4-1, I think we'll all still be close games, regardless of if it's 4-1.
Yeah, I don't think we're doing that at all.
Yeah, we don't need no blowout.
Yeah, like you just said, Ty. Like I think
that sucks, man.
I wouldn't be shocked if anything happened this year. I wouldn't be shocked if Boston won 4-1. To be honest with you, either. I'm not gonna say I don't see it happening, but I wouldn't be shocked because they don't really match up against each other very well. So it's like I don't know. Like it's not gonna happen. It's not. But hey, I wouldn't be totally shocked. So we got 2 guys going Golden State. I'm going Boston. So we'll see who's right. I think it's gonna be a great series. Anything you guys want to touch base on before we get out of here? But I think it's gonna be a great series.
I think it's gonna be a close series. Well, I mean, every game is gonna be a dogfight. I don't want to see a blowout at all. Don't get me wrong. Just like I don't want to see a sweep. I don't want to see Boston sweep. I don't want to see Golden State sweep. I just want to see a good fought series. Not a single game is going to be a blowout, and I just want great basketball to end it because we're not going to see it for a little bit. So I just want shit to go right.
Listen, I do want to give a quick shout out here before we do get done. If you guys are looking to actually make real money on it, we just got to follow the dude Rooney who just puts in on the Discord. He had a couple of
first basket, he wins 9 out of 10 nights.
Crazy, bro. I mean, listen, if he takes a couple more bets, there's 10 players you can bet on. He doesn't bet on all 10, but some of the bets that he puts in and wins is Al Horford and this and that. So if you guys really want to make money, go check them out. We have it posted in Stoop. They've been helping me out. I don't even look at my shit no more because me and Tyler be sitting there putting in bets half the time. It's I don't know. It's hard to bet on it anymore. It's like shit happens. Like look at the Eastern Conference Finals game where they called that 3 back. I was sick if I bet it. It was, but I'm not saying that caused the game to change. But it's like there's so much betting going on games where like a lot of times, we see it from a different perspective. Like I think you guys don't want to bet Boston because they have Jason Tatum and you hate them because we're from Philly. I'm just saying.
I love Tatum.
If this wasn't Golden State, I'd be taking Boston in the series.
Yeah. But nah, I mean, I think it's gonna be a good series. I think the odds show it's gonna be a good series.
Hey, real quick though, so as you guys know, it is the 75th anniversary of the NBA, and believe it or not, this is a historic matchup. The last time these two guys faced, it was Wilt versus Russell. So Bill Russell versus Wilt Chamberlain.
I seen that the other day. Yeah,
Philadelphia Warriors. No, you know what? It was the San Fran Warriors versus the Celtics.
Oh wow, that's pretty awesome. What year was that?
That was in 1964. I was going back some time.
That's wild.
Talking about history for the 75th anniversary.
That's pretty cool. We got two great teams in it. I do want to say this though, as a fan of the NBA, I'm not a LeBron hater at all. Don't get me wrong, but I would love to see Steph Curry win his fourth title and get MVP just to see more of the people debate about them too. Because sometimes people crack up with them. I honestly like before Steph Curry became Steph Curry, I always thought all this dude can do is shoot. But he has proven he's done a lot different than people make him out to be when he started. He does a lot more than shooting. So I mean, it would be good to see Steph Curry get that Finals MVP. He's changed the game a lot in just the short time he's been in the NBA. So I think like he should have got an MVP in one of those, in my opinion, that they gave to KD. So if they do win, I hope he gets the MVP, Steph Curry.
And it makes you wonder: is that going to cause LeBron? Is that going to put pressure on LeBron to win a fifth?
Absolutely, I think he has pressure regardless.
And that's for another debate. We could go for a while talking about that, but
exactly.
It makes you wonder if he's going to trade from LA. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, either way, if Golden State wins and Curry gets the title, it's good for the NBA. It's good for the future of the sport. And if Boston wins, I hate to say it, it's good for the sport too. Because anytime
another fact, they will surpass the Lakers with 18 titles. They're
really
currently tied at 17 apiece.
So they
there's
a lot of history at stake and a lot of legacies. It could be.
So, who do you think the NBA likes more, the Lakers or the Celtics?
Who does the NBA like more? Oh, that's a tough
I think it's the Celtics. I think it's
Celtics.
So I don't know, man. They're
if you
pretty
think
close.
It's Celtics, I mean,
they're 1 and 2 or 1A and 1B, however you want to.
Yeah, I mean,
I think in this era, I think they love the Celtics way more than the Lakers. But if we're talking about Kobe's Lakers, it's the Lakers all the way. We're talking about, I don't know, let's go back to the 80s. Probably Larry. I don't know how many people loved Magic Johnson back then. I don't know how much the NBA loved them.
Right.
But I know they loved Larry Bird. For some reason, they fucking love Larry Bird. I don't know, man. It's tough.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I didn't know that though. That's a pretty interesting number. So
it's crazy.
It's going to be a pretty interesting finals and a lot of storylines going on. It'll be fun to watch. So we'll be back on though we'd love to have you back on during the finals, maybe, because I know like literally the finals are like a month.
Like hey, let's do like a mid-series, like between game 4 and 5. Let's do one where we could.
We'll have back on because you never know.
The rest of the series.
You never know. We might be talking about how Andrew Wiggins is averaging 30 points a game.
I know.
Hell, Jordan Poole might be averaging 30. You never know. We'll see. I don't know. Well, we'll definitely love to have you back on, man. Thanks for finally hopping on.
It was great, man.
Yeah, we
definitely going to do it more often.
Yeah,
you should.
But I finally got on it. I had a great time.
Time.
Little nervous, just how Tatum's going to be Thursday night, but
it's true though. That's true though. You're going up against a proven team that can win. It's a little, it's going to be nerve-wracking for them. So it's going to be fun to watch. So we'll have you back on, man. Like I said, thanks again for hopping on. We
Thanks for
appreciate
having me. It was great.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. We appreciate you guys. But before we get out of here, we got to give a quick shout out to a couple more of our sponsors here. That way, you guys, you know who's actually helping us get going. Like I said earlier in the podcast, guys, we are a brand. We like to support other people, especially community. There's a lot of things going on right now in our society where we got to support each other. So we want to thank our sponsors for supporting us, and we want to support them. So, Paulie, we got another sponsor here.
Yes. I want to talk about, first of all, shout out to the White Clothing and Accessory Shop. First of all, it's a one-stop shop. Every single neighborhood in the world needs this type of shop in their life. They have everything from Nike tracksuits, incest, everything, body oils, everything. It is definitely a place I would love. I'm going to probably visit tomorrow anyway. And they have everything. The setup is beautiful. Definitely check them out on Facebook. Dwight's Clothing and Accessory Shop, located in our hometown of Norristown, PA. Stop by, man. Great prices. They have everything you need. Need a white tee? You can go about to go on a date. Need a little fresh white tee and some smell good. It's definitely go to Dwight's Clothing and Accessory Shop, located in Norristown, PA.
Hey, I love, man. They got everything there.
Dude,
cool shop. Very affordable prices too. So if you guys are located in town, check them out, man. They're great. We got another guy. We got a lot of car guys here. We got a lot of on cars. So we got 3 car sponsors here, and we all have cars, right? I mean, most of us. I mean,
absolutely.
I have a car. Tyler has a car. PJ has a car. Sometimes though, we gotta get rid of that piece of shit car. Like my car. And I'm not getting rid of it right now, but like sometimes, unfortunately, we have to get rid of our cars. And sometimes, the dealerships like to, give you a little bit of a rate there on the price that they're going to buy your car for. Car yards, junk yards. Sometimes they don't give us the right prices. But that's why we got my man, Brian Condren at Narton Autos. He's the guy we'll use. It could be a running, not running car, a wrecked car, a junk car, or just some old piece of shit car you don't want anymore. Gotta get rid of it. Dealerships aren't gonna give you the right price for it. Don't worry, they'll beat anybody's price. They service County, PA area, Jersey. Check them out. Narden Auto Salvage. You can check them out right on Facebook or reach out to them directly at 484-687-0131. Now, Paul, I gotta ask you a question here. With our next sponsor here we got on here. We got my man Dan Tudoris at Drag On Customs. Now, if you meet a chick, right? You got a chick, you met a hot chick at a date, you're going to pick her up in your car. Your car is going to be fresh and clean, right?
Absolutely. It's the only way to go. You can't have no like diapers.
So picture this. Tyler, picture this, too. This is for you, too. Picture this. You're about to go on a first date with this smoking hot chick you met at the gym. Smoking hot chick. You roll up to pick her up. Your car is filthy as hell. That's a no-go, bro. Because if I did that, she ain't getting in the car. So we can't have that. You can't fail on the first date by the car ride. So you need to show up with a brand new looking car. Fresh, clean, sparkly, just looking good. Well, thankfully, we got our guys for that over at Drag On Customs, Dan Tudoris, that specialize in making your car look brand new. So that smoking hot chick you're about to pick up is like, all right, this is a good start. So
shout out to my boy Dan, by the way. What's up, Dan?
Yeah, man. Yeah, Dan over there at Drag On Customs, that's what he does, man. He makes your car look pristine, brand new.
He's so fresh and so clean.
Absolutely, man. Fresh and clean. That's what it's about. Because I don't like driving around town with my car looking ugly. So that's why we use Drag On Customs and Skip Back PA to make all of our stuff look fresh, clean, and brand new. And I'm not saying brand new lightly. He's the best detailer in the area. I guarantee it. He does. He does do your car. He'll do your motorcycle. Hell, he'll do your boat. If you got an airplane, I don't know if you guys got airplanes out there. A school bus. We go on rallies. He'll clean that up for you too. Thankfully, guys, he has a shop in Skipback. So if you're located outside of the Montgomery County, Bucks County, Philadelphia County areas, you can come to him. So check them out on Facebook at Drag On Customs with the K. Customs, Kustoms. Check them out on Facebook or give Dan a shout at 484-213-9392. I guarantee it will be the best detail your car will ever get. And that smoking hot chick that you're about to pick up, or that smoking hot stud for you ladies, you're going to love it. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. Now, Paul, we got one more sponsor we need to shout out here.
Yeah. This one is the OG right here. This one, let's talk about Colors on Parade. Bobby, you know all about this one. Come on. This is something that's near and dear to your heart, man. I'm about to bring my car to you guys over at Colors on Parade myself. They're the best in the business. I see their work. I see their work every day. How they handle the work, bro. They transform shit into gold. You need that bumper fixed? Go holler at my guys at Color on Parade. Make sure you hit my guy Mike up. If not, hit Bobby up. Either one. And you can call or text them at 610-618-9335. They'll do anything. They're literally the best. I see what Bobby and Mike do every single day, and I'm telling you guys, they turn shits into gold. I mean this.
That's what we do, man. My brother,
they're the best in the area. There's nobody in the area messing with Colors on Parade.
Yo, that's why we're the best. And that's why the podcast is the best, but we're the best because we are sponsored and supported by the best. So like he just said, Colors on Parade, actually it's my brother, and I work on it as well. So shout out to my brother for supporting our podcast here. Sorry you're last, but, sometimes we can save the best for last. Best in the last. You guys got a scratch on your car. Like I said earlier about getting details. You can't have no scratch on your car. You can't have paint colors on your car. That's why we fix them up. Hell, I know some of you are driving around with a missing mirror that needs to be repainted. That'd be me. But we make it black. We change the color. We make it black. We make it look good. If you guys need your bumper repaired, anything painted on your car, call up Colors on Parade. Check us out on Facebook at Colors on Parade or on Instagram, or give my brother a shout out on his phone, 618-9335, and check us out. And again, best in the business at fixing the car. So before we get out of here again, thank you guys to all of our sponsors. Be on the lookout for all of our sponsors to come on the episode. We actually have 2 of them scheduled now that will be on by the end of the month. We're going to have a couple of them coming on again. And we appreciate the sponsors. We appreciate the support. And Ty, again, thanks for coming on, man. We appreciate the episode. And
hey, it was a pleasure. Had a blast.
All right, fellas. Well, you guys have a great rest of the night. Guys, we'll be back on Thursday. Believe it or not, I forgot to say this. We have our first debate of the month coming up. Now,
we've been liking the debates, man. I've been itching for a good debate.
Yeah, we got 2 debates coming up this week, Tyler. Believe it or not.
What do we got Thursday, Bobby?
I'm going to go undefeated again. But on Thursday, we have our man Mike Pearson and who's he debating? Why can't I remember right now? Who's
Marcus Morales.
Marcus Morales. That's right. I was thinking Miles. I was thinking Spider.
What do we got? What's the debate?
We got a debate between Barry Bonds and Ken Griffey Jr.
Wow. And, I like that.
I had both jerseys, so whoever wins, I'll win the jersey on the podcast a week later. But we have that coming up. That's going to be a great debate. These guys have had a month to prep, so be on the lookout for that. Barry Bonds versus Griffey. If you guys haven't tuned in for any of our debates yet, you're missing out. Because honestly, that's where we get more people involved that just talk shit and have fun, and they're great, man. And then on Sunday, I'm stepping back in the ring, going against Craig Woody, who I already annihilated. So he's getting payback.
Craig is out for revenge. He's out for revenge, bro. I'm telling you. He's going to bring the fireworks.
Yeah, we're going to be debating BJ Penn, Bum, versus Jose Aldo. Better. But tune in for that. That'll be fun. That'll be an electric Sunday night debate there. Actually, now that I think of it, we might have to switch it because I think a finals game's on. We'll get it to you guys. That's going to be this weekend. So we got 2 debates coming up, and then we'll be back to it. So again, guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed and learned something from the podcast tonight about NBA. And Paulie, I'll let you finish it off before we get out of here.
Thank you, everybody, for listening, watching. Shout out to all the sponsors. You guys are the real ones. Bottom line is, anybody on the Stoop Life without y'all, we aren't here. I appreciate everybody who listens, watches, tunes in, goes on Stoop Life and talks that shit. Keep on doing it. Thanks for tuning in, guys. You know, Tyler, appreciate you coming on. Need to bring your ass back.
I appreciate it 100%. Just let me know when.
Anytime, brother, right?
All
Catch
right,
you guys
brother.
soon. Peace out, y'all. Have a good night.